Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back to our channel. So, today we are back after a long time, I guess, on our channel with a new video on AI. So, AI is not a buzzword anymore. It's actually giving real time value to the enterprises, and the models are also getting advanced day by day, I would say, because there are a lot of advancements happening quite fast at a rapid pace, because of which some of the enterprises are still feeling that they are left behind with the AI advancements those are going on. So to cater that, we have created another video today for the AI coding assistants. How you can deliver faster value with all these assistants while working on your existing IDEs as well. So hello everyone. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe the channel please, as we are giving a lot of value and adding lot of videos in AI, in system design and in any other field as well, which you are working on the digital side as well. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. So today, as you can see, the agenda is on mastering the AI coding assistants, how you can deliver faster value with all these agents like Cursor, Cloud Code, GitHub Copilot, and many more as well. They can make you deliver faster value as a developer, as a senior pro who is working on a code base. So, and at the same time, from the business side, if you deliver the features faster from the business side, you can release your products next versions also pretty fast in the market as compared to the competitors as well. So, as an enterprise today, if you are not using these AI coding assistants, which means the performance and velocity of your team is not at par with the competitors, whereas your competitors will be able to deliver faster in the market and will be able to get more market share as well. Whereas if you don't adhere to these two tools or coding assistants, you may feel left behind, and at the same time your market cap also may reduce because your competitors will have a win here. So let's go to the next part of it. Why AI coding tools matter today? I was just explaining you hypothetically what is actually happening and why you can be left behind. But now let's look at some numbers based on the research that is being done by different organizations across the globe. So if you're working on a coding tool, your developer who is actually working on a coding a feature, so he or she can deliver that feature pretty faster. So there can be optimizations initially. If you talk about 1 year back, the optimizations were nearly around, or the productivity was nearly around 10 to 20%. Like if you are able to deliver a feature in n number of days, so the productivity enhancement on top of that was only 10 to 20%. So that's where the productivity gains were not that crucial. But now, as the models are getting more advanced and they are getting more capabilities as well, the productivity, which was 10 to 20% 1 year back, or maybe 1.5 year back, that has now jumped way more than 50% also in some cases in some organization, depending on their products and the code base size as well. So this is pretty significant, and that's why I am saying again and again, the enterprises who don't use these practices today, they'll be left behind at all, at any cost, without a doubt. Which was not the case if we were talking about, let's say, about this 1.5 year back. But now it's a need of an hour for every organization. So the productivity improvement, strategic focus, as I mentioned. So from the developer, if you are writing a code which is a repetitive coding for any of the features, or let's say, so you do write the same boilerplate of kind of code for different features as well. So that kind of repetitive work can be shifted to AI, and you can shift your time to some other areas which are complex, which are related to system thinking, design, debugging, and all that. And then AI assistants can help you do the complete transformation as well, with speed, code quality, and satisfaction as well simultaneously. Now, how to start with? If you are a developer, how can you start with the AI coding tools? So you can use the instant code generation tools or the documentation you can use these tools for documentation, automated testing as well. So not only documentation. So this is actually just step one, where you are as a newbie on a developer using these tools, which all basic tasks you can use these tools for. Instant code generation. If you are developing a constantly boilerplate and scaffolding and repetitive kind of code, then you can use this tool for instant code generation as well. Secondly, documentation. Like if you have already a code base which is generated and which is already ready, you want to generate a documentation, so you can use this for documentation as well. And then the unit test case writing, integration test writing from the existing code as well, so you can use these for these very basic steps to kickstart with. But as you go along, so you will have to keep on improvising the way of using these tools, and to gain more productivity and deliver faster as well. So when we say deliver faster, improving productivity, all these keywords, you can't say that on day one by following this step one you will be immediately able to give the productivity improvement of 50 to 60%. That may not be possible, and that is not realistic as well. So initially when you kickstart, and you kickstart with these low hanging fruits like instant code generation, documentation, unit tests, integration tests, or anything related to this, you might gain a minor productivity gain of, let's say, 10 to 20% only. But if you have to go up the ladder and to improve the productivity and the velocity as well to 50 to 60%, then you have to follow the next and use more innovative techniques also while you are using these coding assistants. And that may not require only the knowledge of these coding assistants, but that may require you to have some understanding of how the AI models work, how they actually manipulate the data, how they actually see and digest and read through the data as well. So all those information you should have. So this is what I was talking about, the step 2. After you are done with the step 1, you go with step 2, where you will have to improvise your prompt a bit so that you get value out of it for your complex tasks also. So you're done with step 1 with the basic low hanging fruits. Now we are moving to step 2, where you have to develop a feature, you have to basically work on a bug, you have to do an analysis task, you want to get some meaningful output so that the output is still relevant for you, and you can do some activities on top of it as well. So then you will have to use the prompting techniques here, which you may have learned in the past till now. If not, this is a must have if you want to improve the productivity and evaluate the gains of your AI coding assistant tools as well. Then the next step is full context provision. So whenever you're generating a code, so you need to give the references or what kind of code you want to generate and specifications. And let's say if I want to work on a story, I want to work on a feature, so I need to give the relevant data to AI regarding that feature or regarding that specification as well. So let's say if I have to add a login feature in my application, which actually lets the user log in via email and password, and at the same time via SSO as well. So as you see, there is a diverse nature of functionality in this module. So when you are instructing the AI, you have to instruct it like a junior engineer who is not as trained as you, and you have to guide and give the relevant data to it, based on which it can create the login functionality on its own. So you have to think like that, and based on that you have to design your prompt, and based on that only you have to give your context. That context can be the story information which probably product owners or business owners makes it, or it can be specification related to the product, how your product gets worked and how it integrates with different external systems, so that you get to understand how you have to build the login and authentication system. Then the iterative refinements. So once your code is generated, it may not be like you give one prompt and your output of after the one prompt would be 100% usable. May not be the case in most of the cases. So you have to review the AI, what AI has suggested, and then review that as a human in loop, and then ask it for improvement, or maybe handling the edge cases which it hasn't evaluated earlier only. So this is what the iterative refinement does. Now when you follow this step 2, your productivity gain suddenly starts creeping up. So then you will realize, yes, now your productivity is improving. Earlier the feature that you were taking a day or two, maybe more than that, to deliver it, now you are maybe delivering it in half of the time or maybe lesser than that, depending on the feature and its complexity. So now moving to the third step. Now till now we, in step 1 we just looked at the low hanging fruits, where you can generate the boilerplate code, unit test cases, automation test cases and all that. In step 2 we went ahead and we writing the code with specifications, and we iteratively we worked on the feedbacks of AI and then keep on improvising it as well. Now you have to integrate this AI into your workflow. That workflow can be your entire SDLC cycle, how you actually get the requirement, how you break down those in different stories, and then how those stories are taken care into development, and how the development happens, and later on how the QA execution also happens once the story is developed. So you have to start integrating that in your workflow. Those workflows can be different according to the organization and their standard of working as well. For example, in some of the organization you might be following the agile model, and in some of the organizations you may be following the waterfall, which is an older model as well. And in some of the organization you may have some other way of working like Kanban or something else as well. So whichever the way is, you have to understand the core part of it. Now here is, I want to add some more detailed information what actually is missing in this slide, but I would like to just give our penny information separately. Now, earlier, what used to happen is we used to understand the business requirements from the customer and convert it into a requirement, or break down those into a stories, or then the stories were taken into our consideration in development STLC cycle, and then they used to go one by one from development to testing and then to closure. But going forward, the way AI is gonna, or AI workflows are shaping, it may not be the case that you have to go through each of the steps before you reach to the end conclusion. So to deliver faster, you may have to improvise your workflow and the methodology which has been there for past few decades. So that business model, that SDLC model, that development model or workflow model might get changed with the use of these AI assistants. It depends on how you use it based on your need. That's where the workflow integration, when you do in this third step, that drastically improves your productivity as well, not only as a developer, but also for other people as well who are involved in the specific role, like business analysts, QAs, manual automation, and all that. So that's where you have to review this step very carefully. Then this is step 4, which is actually quite complex and quite advanced. Now in this step, you are basically doing different kind of things. You are working on a complex code base, you are modernizing the legacy code base to a new technology code base. You are basically working on a quite a tricky feature on this very huge gigantic code base. So you need different kind of techniques to handle this processes, or handle this various tasks. So you need to handle this by using different techniques. One is, let's say, multi-step reasoning. So basically, let's say you have to work on a bug. You are given a bug which is actually in the product for last some time, and the product code is quite huge. Now, as a coding assistant, you will be able to do that, but you have to guide the coding assistant on how to do it. So that's where the multi-step reasoning comes into play. So if that bug is complex, you can guide the coding assistant to do that multi-step reasoning and then develop or fix that bug as well. So this is step 1 of this step 4. Then the new dual implementation validation. So basically, now let's say you are trying to design a new feature in this complex code base, and you want to design that in such a way that it delivers value, and at the same time it is able to deliver all your functional and non-functional requirements as well. So that's where you will not be sure, like, if I'm talking to AI model 1 via these assistants, whether it is giving correct value or not, or whether it is actually correct to take that value, or I'll have to iteratively refine that multiple times. Now here you can talk to multiple AI models in parallel and ask them the same question and get the answer relevant to your requirement. After you get the answer, you can evaluate which one is better for you, and based on that you can evaluate which where should we go ahead and start designing or implementing the solution. This is the dual implementation validation. Then the modernization. Again, it's quite understandable. You are actually having a legacy code base which is actually written in some of the older languages, and now the companies wants to modernize it because of the changing digital platforms and interoperability and all those things. So that's where the modernization is a tricky part, because you are modernizing an entire code base. The existing code base or existing way of writing the code is different, and the new languages or frameworks are a bit different. So that's where you want to deliver these features faster, and that's where this is the optimum level of improvement or productivity gain that you want to give to the customer. Now the critical impacts after all these steps is you deliver safer, high quality code faster, and in the most complex and challenging environment. So basically the key words here are deliver safer, quality, faster. So basically, you have to deliver safe code, which means you need to counter security also, and then you need to deliver faster, which means productivity and velocity gains are pretty important. And then in the complex and challenging environments, complex means it can be a huge code base, or it can be a tight deadlines and all those things. So that's where you have to think about all these aspects when you are applying different techniques in your coding assistants. Then collaborate and scale AI use across the teams. So till now we have talked about the development and involved a bit of QA as well. Then you have to start talking to different teams, start incorporating other team members also in your process, so that you standardize your practices, and at the same time you track the metrics also, so that you are able to scale your AI coding assistants use and able to demonstrate that also to the customer, so that customers also see if they are spending X amount of your AI tools, they are getting Y amount of ROI, which actually they ultimately they want to see as an output. If they are not able to see that ROI coming in, then they will not be able to spend much on this tooling or all those things going forward. So that's where consistent quality and accelerated delivery across your organization, what when the scale or collaboration happens. Then this is the near real world example for near forms AI transformation. So they basically used the legacy platform age successfully modernized horse reclaimed weekly per hour. So they applied all these things, and then they were able to deliver that faster, and as you can see 40% time was saved. So this was their actually productivity gain, and they were able to deliver faster, and they were able to deliver more value out of with these AI tools rather than the human, because they were able to deliver three times more test coverage as well. So the legacy platform age was successfully modernized. Earlier it was taking 5 years. Now with this gain, they were able to saving the time as well. Rather than doing in 5 years, they were able to save the time by 40%. So this is actually a win-win situation for the company. Now, if you are from a product-based organization or a service-based organization, this is for both of you. As a service-based organization, so you will have to deliver the value, and at the same time, if you are not able to deliver the value, you will be kicked out, or the other competitors will win. So that's where, uh, as a service-based organization or a product-based organization, it is pretty important. So these are the common pitfalls and how to avoid them. So we have talked about all the good things till now. So let's talk about something bad also, or something which we want to be more careful going forward as well. Over reliance without review, human in the loop, as of now, is important. Going forward, it may get reduced because the models are getting advanced. So think about that also very carefully in your workflow. Poor prompt designing. Prompt designing has to be follow a framework to get the ultimate value out of it. Integrations. If you are building the workflows or the use cases, integrations should always be taken care of. And last but not least, which is actually the key point, if it has to run for the longer, until or unless you are not able to deliver the ROI in a number, in a matrix format to your customer, they'll not be able to happily go ahead with the AI tools usage in the longer run with the customer or with the vendor. So that's where, as a delivery managers or as a scaling AI partners for your customers, this is pretty important step on how to measure the performance and how to measure the usage of these AI tools as well. So this is the AI journey, how it starts and how it actually scales. So you start small, keep on experimenting, and then integrate, and then you scale. So this is about today's video. So I hope it helps you get understanding of how you have to build the workflows ultimately to deliver faster. We are writing some playbooks also for our different customers, which they are using different tools like GitHub Copilot, Cursor, Cloud Code as well. We will share you those playbooks also in some of the upcoming videos. We will demonstrate them how to use those efficiently as well, and what kind of use cases you can cover up with those playbooks. We will explain about all those things as well. So if you like the content, please do share it. Please do subscribe the channel and do like the video as well. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time.